goal is to bring you your next favorite band.
Thanks for having us. This is a very cool show.
Yeah, so through many iterations, and we finally landed on the weirdest one by far.
Yeah, simple of feelings, and boom, you got a sound.
I remember this one time. I'd been writing some songs, and I went out. I'm just going right in on this story. I went out, and so I was.
The story's longer than the song itself. We'll go ahead and play it.
And listen, it's going to be everybody's favorite band. Welcome to your next favorite band. That's both the show title and our promise to you. We here at Stereophilia Studio are tireless in our pursuit of finding incredible, genre-defiant artists who are either a hot up-and-coming band or a group that has been delivering for years but have flown under the radar. Day 8 of the daily live stream from Godfrey Daniels, and we have Mike Lorenz from the Witherbees and Ty Vallone from the Groove Merchants. Each month, we will bring you live streams, audio podcasts, and perhaps even a live concert where you can listen to the stories and hear the music of artists personally curated by us based on what we feel will be worthy of your time. Be sure to subscribe and tune in to each episode because the possibilities are endless and you never know who will be your next favorite band.
Oh, Chameleon Club?
Yeah, I can't remember that. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Philip Reese, and this is the Your Next Favorite Band live stream during Musikfest 2022, Day 8. And we are here at Godfrey Daniels, and we have Mike Lorenz.
Yeah, hello.
Highly accomplished guitarist, jazz guitarist. You have your own Mike Lorenz music.
Yep.
And then you also have the Witherbees.
Yeah, the Witherbees.
So thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to jump right in, pretty much because you were performing in 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So super grateful that you made time for us. It is nice that Godfrey Daniels is so convenient to where you'll be playing.
Yeah, and I live in Bethlehem.
And you live in Bethlehem, so
makes it easy.
But being the band leader, like we were talking, and you were like, you need to make sure everybody's where they need to be. And
yeah, not everyone understands the weight of Musikfest. Like the parking. Yeah, especially the parking thing.
Yeah,
like
there's accidents that happen. Like
literally
right in front of us as we were walking to Godfrey Daniels. There was a big smack accident right in front of us. Looked like everyone was fine. Airbags didn't deploy. But it did create a hurdle for us to cross 3rd Street. So we went a different way. But anyway, thank you again.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Happy to be here.
Yeah. And primarily the promotion here is, and let's bring it up here. So one of the things I usually do is do the pics of the Platz, and blocked you off there. There we go. Don't worry, he's still behind there. But today was a really strong day already.
Okay. I was following your Instagram.
Oh, thank you.
I don't venture out too much during Musikfest just because playing is often like a big production.
For sure.
To get to the show and stuff like
that.
But
it's prep leading up,
and
then kind of probably exhaustion afterwards.
Yeah, and then a friend of mine was saying or someone asked them do you go to Musikfest at all? And they're a musician too, and they're like, once you start gigging a lot, you'll realize it's not the most fun thing to get yourself to when you're also doing gigs in between and stuff. And so, or we did, to get onto the Witherbees, we did 2 days of recording this week. So,
gotcha.
Walking around 100-degree weather is not, my idea of fun after doing 2 days of recording.
It's very true. Yeah. And we got super lucky with the weather this week.
Yeah, no, really.
But it's still hot.
Still hot.
It is still August.
Today's beautiful though.
Today is gorgeous, and apparently it just gets better. Like tomorrow is better than today, Sunday better than Saturday.
Cool.
So highly recommend you all coming down. And the other thing I'll say is, if you look here, this list keeps getting longer. That's not because as the week goes on, it's supposed to be this way. But as far as the people who I would be recommending each day, it just keeps getting. I honestly don't know if I can fit everybody on tomorrow.
Oh wow,
the list of people who I would say, hey, if you could get out and see them, do it. And then Sunday equally as much too.
Oh, cool.
So today was already the densest day so far. And then it gets even I was going to say worse, but actually better. It gets,
right.
It gets better. But the only thing that's sad about it is because there's so many, it's just the physical overlap of time. I won't be able to get to all of it.
Right. Yeah.
So let's just real quick rip through this. We already saw this. Actually, shout out to my buddy Eric. He's here from Charlotte.
Hey.
Say hi, Eric.
Hello.
And Ty just walked in. Ty.
Welcome.
So feel free to also chime in or laugh or boo and hiss, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you guys need.
So the picks for today, the first 4 already happened. So half the list already happened. So if this is the first time you're taking a look at the list, again, sorry, but they're worth checking out. So either check out, Spotify or YouTube, or if they're playing nearby in the fall. But we opened with one of the best parts of Musikfest is they keep true to those traditions of polka music. And Robbie Lawrence, the polka prince, who was actually, they called him the polka king today. He might have gotten a promotion.
Oh, wow.
So he was on our show last week to do like the preview show, and he provided some history of polka Musikfest.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was pretty cool because he knows a lot about that. His family has always been kind of involved in that, and he's been, playing polka. He's only like 28, so he's current polka player.
Right.
And will apparently be carrying the torch going forward for Musikfest, and he's very, very good too. But he knows a lot of that history and stuff. So he was telling some great stories. So
cool. Wow.
Robbie and the Steelworkers. Then School of Rock, Easton is the basically high school kids who a lot of them because of Charter Arts, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah.
But they have like a bunch of like a showcase basically because they swap out that. But they from noon to 3 they were playing. Archive, they have 4 shows, so I guess you didn't totally miss them yet. There's still a 7:30 show for them.
Oh, and I think that one's in the chapel.
It is. It's in the
That's
Vespers.
such a cool place to see a show. I always like halfway through Musikfest,
Mhm.
remember to see if there's anything that I'm drawn to that's playing there because it's a very cool space.
It is cool, and they play like electric cello, electric violin, and so sometimes it's sounding like this. I don't want to call it new age because people have a bad taste in their mouth about that, but it's kind of that's what it sounds like. It's this very like beautiful.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it hits like a rhythm and it sounds like an R&B version of a new age song. And it's very cool.
They came and did a master class at Charter Arts in
as they should
April or May or something.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Then the second half, everything is still available. Argonaut and Wasp, another returning favorite, is playing tonight on America Platz at 7. Boathouse Row, which is, I don't often put like either a tribute or a cover band on the list.
You have 2 today, though.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that funny? But because they're both so good. Like when they're really good, and I always say too, if you're this good and you're going to do it, lean into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like don't just do the covers. So Boathouse Row, they dress the part. Start Making Sense, they dress the part.
Yeah, right.
So they are not only tremendous musicians and do the covers extremely well, but then they make it an entertaining show as well.
Yeah.
So Boathouse Row, and then, like Mike said, Start Making Sense is on America Platz at 9, and then the Witherbees.
Yeah.
Yep, there we are. So it's a great way to kind of transition. It's a returning favorite. The Jazz Cabaret, and I just put the cinemas in there in parenthetical just because most people probably wouldn't even know where that Jazz Cabaret is.
Yeah.
So it's in those, the where the movie theater is in the Arts Quest building.
Yeah. If you're like, you walk in and you're looking at where you get a beer, it's to the right.
Yeah, if you've never seen a movie there or didn't even know they had them.
And I think from all sides, if you're looking at the bar from the other, it's both times, it's front to the right.
Yep, weirdly.
It's
like an Escher painting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that space to me does have really good acoustics.
Yeah.
So because it's a theater.
Yeah, we played there 3 years ago, and it was a really nice experience.
Yep.
That was the Witherbees, our first time playing at Musikfest, and it's nice, like not having the commotion of being outside at one of the like more traditional platzes. You can kind of explore some different things, which is nice.
Oh yeah. And so the Witherbees, because Jackie's in college, you guys haven't you haven't been able to play, but for this summer.
Yeah.
And so that's a really special moment. Like people need to take advantage of this because it may be the last time for a little bit again, right?
Yeah, Jackie's going to grad school in Boston next. So so this is our last show scheduled for the foreseeable future, I guess. Maybe we can find some time in the winter or something like that. But,
yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. But yeah, it's we kind of do it when we can.
Sure.
So,
and what would you call the style of music, because I think when you play as like your trio, it is definitely like a jazz trio.
Yeah.
But the Witherbees seem to have a slightly, it's jazzy, but it's got a different kind of jazz folk. I don't know, but like,
Yeah.
what would you call it?
I often call it like folk jazz or
Mhm.
jazz folk, but some of the stuff we've been doing lately is neither jazz nor folk. Or,
Right. That's what I mean. It's like, it's not like, I mean, you heard me say before, like I hate putting a label or a genre on something because people immediately jump to an assumption or a decision about it.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I just don't want them to think that this is, oh, I already know what a jazz, group sounds like. Like you need to go listen to the Witherbees because it's just good music. So
yeah,
go listen to it.
Yeah, I even said that because I think Jackie posted the little Instagram flyer that I made,
Mhm.
and they said like, "Come see our not jazz band play in the Jazz Cabaret." And
So it fits exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I think the parts of it that are the spirit of jazz, I guess, are like we reinterpret songs.
That's
Though-
what.
though
Talk
we-
about that for a second.
Yeah.
There's that one song that you completely deconstruct,
Yeah,
and you always even like apologize to the crowd ahead of time,
Yeah.
which I find is hilarious. You're like,
Yeah.
sorry,
yeah,
but
or-
we like this.
yeah. Yeah. We our last gig we had, I called it a loving deconstruction
Mhm.
of So kind of a quick, if anybody's watching or listening that has
Mhm.
never heard of our band, we started 4 years ago as like an impromptu recording
Yeah.
project.
I probably should have done it, but why don't
Yeah,
you tell
that's
the
okay.
history
Yeah.
of the band first?
But started in 2018 as just like a quick impromptu recording project. Jackie had a song that they wrote when they were a student at Charter Arts that I thought could, I thought it'd be fun to record it and just kind of have it that they could have like a great recording of
Right.
it. And that was really the only motivation. And then I book a whole day of recording. You don't, especially doing like jazz stuff, you don't do like one song.
Mhm.
Or doing stuff where you're like improvising. You're not going to just like build up a song like a rock project or something like that.
Sure,
You're going
sure,
to record like 5 or 6 songs. So how do we fill out a whole day? So I picked some songs that I liked
Mhm.
and I thought that they would like, and some cover songs like a
Mhm.
Paul McCartney song and stuff like that. And then it just kind of clicked. And so it seemed like something that we should pursue further. So then we did another recording session to flesh out an album. And then we celebrated the release of that album
Mhm.
at Musikfest 2019. I was just reflecting on it today because I was trying to think about what we could play tonight, like a set list of
Sure.
sorts. And when we played Musikfest in 2019, I would say we had like 4 original songs.
Mhm.
And now looking at a 2-hour set, and we might play 2 cover songs.
Yeah.
And the rest of it's original material. And some of it's just kind of developed through like the growth of the band, like
Mhm.
kind of finding things. I never wrote anything for a bowed string instrument, like
Sure.
Jackie plays viola
Mhm.
and is a beautiful singer. And so, but I'd never written anything for viola or any strings.
Mhm.
And so
That's an
seeing-
interesting like
yeah.
challenge for a songwriter,
Yeah.
like where you're like, wait, I don't know. That's a whole new sandbox to play in.
Yeah.
It's probably exciting too.
Yeah, it's really fun. And just like we've recorded this week, and we recorded a new song of mine that was just kind of a funny song. I could tell the story of it because I think I'm going to play it. But it just has like that string band kind of texture to it.
Mhm.
And then when we started playing it, it's like, yeah, oh, this works. And it's been cool to see it kind of grow into that. So before we had like one song that I wrote that kind of accessed the chamber music kind of sound that you can
Sure.
get, especially since Jackie's such a great classical violist.
Yep.
As well as like improviser. So
Mhm.
kind of access like a very written out kind of thing, but it was jazz improvised, but had a chamber
Yep.
chamber music kind of quality to it. Cover songs. Then Jackie started writing more songs. We've written songs together, like
Mhm.
one of your favorites.
Yes,
that I think
which I have.
Yeah.
We'll pull that up in a second.
Yeah. And so then it's just evolved, and it's kind of cool. Now it's like a band of people that play jazz music or that can improvise and have that as part of what they do. And then, but we're doing like what we just recorded this week, like I said, and it's pretty all over the place in a good way. There's like an original song of Jackie's, one that we wrote together that has like the most noisy, distorted guitar solo I've ever
Mhm.
played on any recording. And it's got like a bluesy, I called it like Ford truck guitar tone,
Mhm.
like don't, and
Yeah.
when we were recording, but everybody said it was too good for a truck commercial. So that's the tone. Yeah. And then like we recorded a folk song. We recorded a version of this Thelonious Monk song that Jackie wrote words to.
Mhm.
So I mean, just all over the place.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. I think like it's a little
And
bit
you
of-
also have one that like is your theme song. This song called The Witherbees.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Witherbees, the song. So one of my favorite bands, and I think like I know Jackie and I both really love the Wilco, and I
Mhm.
don't know if Justin and Kyle do as much. I don't think they do, but they have a album called Wilco the album, and they have a song on the album called Wilco the song. And so I just was writing a little ditty. I wrote that like peak,
Mhm.
isolation time 2020, and I was just like writing everything down that was just coming out.
Sure.
And that was a little ditty that came out.
Yep.
We used to,
Which I never know how to say that word. It's eponymous.
Eponymous?
Where it's like it's named for.
I think eponymous is.
I'll never get it. People try and teach it to me all the time, but it's just one of those words I'll never get. So why don't I bring that up?
Yeah.
So this is Musikfest last year.
Yep.
You were at the later Platz stage, which is like in between that
Classic.
courtyard of the Sun Inn.
Yeah, in a classic Musikfest venue. I grew up in the area, like
Sure.
Upper Bucks County. I used to go to Musikfest. I was born in 1984 in October, so I just missed the first one. But I think my parents probably took me when I was 10, 11 months old.
Yeah, they are.
In August 85,
Mhm.
and I've probably gone almost every year
Yeah.
since. And it used to be kind of like circled on the calendar with my parents and myself. And
That's
we
awesome.
really go as hard as you do. But a lot of it's, if I really dug deep, they're in there, but some really formative experiences, I think.
Yeah,
So
I'm sure.
music
Yeah, it's hard. It would be impossible for it not to be.
Yeah.
You're even just listening to the music is going to change your brain as a child.
Mhm.
Like, so even if you don't remember it, it would have just changed who you were ultimately.
Yeah,
becoming.
just like soaking it up.
Correct. Yeah. So this is the song called Morning,
Mhm.
and it's kind of almost spelt both ways.
Yep.
Because the U is in
Tucked in.
parentheses.
Yeah.
So it's there, but it's not permanent. And so we'll play this a little bit, and then I'll lower the volume so we can kind of like talk over it a little bit.
Okay, sure. Yeah, whatever you want.
Just for you all know, Mike won't be able to hear it. So
I know it sounds great,
but
I remember it was really good. And
it was a great moment.
well, playing outside, I was talking about how it can be kind of chaotic
Sure.
and noisy. You get transient. It's very transient when you play outside at Musikfest because people are just walking by or just getting a beer. And this is a very soft, emotional kind of song.
Correct.
And you requested it, and I was like, okay, we'll do it. I believed you. I knew it would work.
Yes.
I had to convince the others that it would work.
Got it.
But they didn't have that formative Musikfest experience that I had, especially like the heart of Musikfest.
Yeah.
I think it could feel.
And what you're talking about is what I bring up all the time, where like there are certain songs that have the label that we've put to it as a pure moment.
Yeah.
And it makes everybody stop and listen.
Yeah.
And like someone who might have been talking just stops talking and looks, and someone who might have been coughing stops coughing.
Yeah.
This song seems to create it all the time. It's on my like favorite songs of all time list. Like,
wow.
It really is. Like, to me, it's one of these ones where it's just like captured lightning in a bottle, and it's just such a beautiful song. So let's let it play a little bit.
Sure.
It starts a little bit midway through.
Yeah.
And I think this song also just shows off her vocals, and then the patience and the talent of the musicians. Because I could see someone not waiting, because it's got this very like particular meter to it that it's like you could see someone almost rushing it.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's that's a challenge with this one.
Yeah, you gotta let it go.
Yeah,
like let it just own the moment.
Yeah. I don't know what part of the song it is. It's okay. I'm talking over it.
Here.
Yeah. Okay.
Here, borrow that.
Yeah.
I think you're about to solo.
Oh, I can talk over that part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, cool. Wow. Yeah, it's fun that was like about a year ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got kind of the song. Did I tell you this story about how the song came about? Like, I wrote the music, Jackie eventually wrote the words, and then we recorded it kind of peak shutdown time as well in my dining room.
That's what I was going to ask you to tell that part, because I think the recording of it on the, I wanted to say CD, but that's no longer how we listen to things. But it was recorded as almost like a live performance in your living room. And I think you can almost, I said to you before I knew that, I was like, there's something interesting not only about the song, but the recording. And I think that has to do with it. It was just kind of like one take that just happened to like catch the magic?
Yeah, we might have only done 2 takes,
Mhm.
and it's just set up some mics that we borrowed to finish the record that we released last summer. So this we recorded in 2020, released in 2021. It's our album called Love Letter, and
Right.
This is the last song on it, and we were just like, we needed to go back in the studio to do final vocal takes, but the place we recorded all the instrumental stuff, he wasn't open yet because there was like, it was still kind of peak. People had the vaccine, or no one had the vaccine at that point.
Right.
Yeah. My timetable's all mixed up. So yeah, like it was just kind of, I don't know, like a high, like peak moment of that experience.
Mhm.
Like, but such an emotionally raw song, and we just recorded it facing each other in my living room, or dining room rather.
Right. And like that was basically just some of the vocals, and then you having a really killer like jazz solo basically in the midst of all that. If you listen to the whole song, it has this wonderful build to it, and then just kind of resolves. And I don't know. I just think people should go check that out.
Yeah. It's on the Witherbees. We're on Spotify and
Mhm.
Apple Music.
And like you said, it's called Love Letter.
Love Letter's the name of the record,
Mhm.
and we do have CDs. So if you like CDs, you can buy one from us.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So you were going to play for us today.
Yeah.
Before we do that, just real
Sure.
quick.
Go
So
ahead.
you're a teacher at Charter Arts.
Yep.
And that's obviously like a great offering here in Bethlehem for high school age students to be able to like really learn how to become a musician, like head them down a path of being a professional, not just learning how to play.
Yeah, and I think it's also, more and more. I think like music is, well, not more and more, but like more and more what we're trying to do, or even like my focus as a teacher has
Mhm.
evolved quite a bit. And like music is a great place to find community and to grow as a person. And it doesn't necessarily it's not a pre-professional school or anything like that.
Right.
It's or some sort of training ground.
Mhm.
A lot of our students do go on to do great things in music. They do great things otherwise too. I
Sure.
tell 2 students of mine that just graduated this year, like one's going to Lehigh for, I forget what they're majoring in.
But not music.
Not music,
Right.
but, and the other one's going to Brown, like pre-med.
Wow.
She's an amazing guitar player and singer too. And
Right.
it's just like, but playing guitar was a huge part of their experience.
Sure.
And a huge part of who they are.
Mhm.
And I think like our getting to work together was a big part of their experience. So it's more than just a training ground or
And it's a very cool place. Even like it's got the music portion, but it also has visual arts and performing arts and dance and such on. So I just think it's a really, really neat option for people to consider.
I'm entering my 10th year of teaching there, which I thought it was going to be a temporary thing when I first started, and now it's 10 years. So I'm pretty into it. So.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to make sure we touched on that too.
Yeah.
But so you're going to play something here, and you told me it's a newer piece. It's instrumental, 2 of them.
Yeah.
And you're going to kind of marry them together, and it's typically for the 4-piece to play.
Yep.
But we're going to have 1 piece it today.
Yeah. And we're going to see how it goes, because I only got to practice it a little bit. Like I don't play either of these solo too much, so we'll see how clammy or whatever I get. I'll tell you if you can't release it on your thing.
Right. Yeah. It's banned. So I'm going to bow out so you can have center stage. And
They're
ladies and
both
gentlemen.
funny stories I should tell.
Yeah. Well, I'll bet you can tell the story.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So both songs, well, one song has a title, one has a working title. The working title of the first part is called Strummies, because I'm going to be strumming a lot. It's very appropriate. But I kind of joke about like, I don't know, I have a lot of sarcastic jokes about like strummy kind of guitar, I guess. So it's a little bit of a reference on that. And then the second half will be a newer song called Bark Wolf, which Jackie and I played a show in upstate New York about a month ago. And there were these 2 little boys there that were like cheering for us, and they wrote signs on pizza boxes. And then a friend of ours brought their dog, and the dog was barking. And then the kids wrote Bark Wolf on the pizza boxes, and they were holding it up at the dog. And then after we finished a couple songs, the kids were chanting like Bark Wolf, Bark Wolf, Bark Wolf. And so I try to capture their energy. I also imagine these 2 kids still pretend that they're like cowboys every now and then. So that's part of the energy. But Strummies and Bark Wolf, and we'll see how it goes.
so much. So I guess it worked.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
And it became at least obvious to me where the bark woof started.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really fun. We just recorded that song and kind of like arranged it in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably one of our goofier, like more far out fun things that we're going to play tonight.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Love it.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, Mike.
Yeah,
I know
course.
we're going to get you going here.
Yeah.
You've been a little bit overtime. I really appreciate that.
Oh, of course.
But tonight, 7:30 cinemas,
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yep.
I could probably look at my own piece here.
Yeah.
There's the Witherbees, 8 p.m. Yep, in the cinemas.
Yeah.
The Jazz Cabaret for non-jazz music.
Yeah.
And anything else in the fall to promote? Any other stuff on the horizon here already scheduled?
Not for the Witherbees, for myself.
That's what I mean for me.
Yeah. Gosh.
They can find it on your...
Yeah, MikeLorenzmusic.com.
Yep.
TheWitherbees.com. If we have any dates, we'll post them there. Like I said, Mike Lorenz Music. It all gets posted there as well.
And they can follow the social media, or I'll always obviously repost things as well as they come up. Too.
Yeah, I think a lot of solo gigs for myself. There's a handful of trio gigs. Probably a fun one to come in the area to go to in the area is playing the Doylestown Arts Festival. 3 different sets with 3 different groups.
That's a great festival, by the way.
Yeah, it is really awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah,
People should make the trip for that if they're up this way, and if they're down more that way, then
yeah, it's really awesome.
Definitely check it out.
And if you like, there's a bike race the second day. It's kind of wild.
Mhm.
So I'm playing with my friend Nicholas Krolak's group, playing a trio set, and then also playing like this little string jam thing that I've done the last couple of years there. And then another fun one in the area is a trio gig at Free Will Brewing Company in Percy. They're setting up a little music area, and it's getting better and better from what I understand. So will be a cool place to check out music. As I think it already is, and it will continue to be a cool place. I think
that's right down by Sellersville Theater. If that helps anybody know, like where
it's a pretty short drive.
Reference it is. Yeah, absolutely. Just right down 309.
Yeah,
cool. Well, can't wait to see you perform later.
Yeah,
thanks so much for coming on the show and for performing for us.
Of course,
ladies and gentlemen, Mike Lorenz.
Yeah, thank you.
The Witherbees. And now we're going to bring on Ty Valone. And Ty is going to play electric today.
That's not out.
Yeah.
I'm going to attempt to.
So the one thing I wanted to do before we get to, so I don't know if you need a few seconds there. What I'm going to actually play while you're kind of getting set is, this is some music from Argonaut and Wasp who play tonight. Just sometimes I like to, especially since they're a returning favorite. They were on our show back in October. Thanks, Mike. This is what Argonaut and Wasp. This is from their show. Actually, literally on this day a year ago, they performed August 12th, 2021. But they were on the smaller blue stage, the Blue Shield stage, like right outside of the Arts Quest building.
So boogie, they got fight. Now you know. Pick your friends, make them go. I see you. I swear. Please come, 'cause it's only fair.
So you can see there, they have like a really kind of dancey rock kind of vibe to them, and they're out of Brooklyn, met in college in Vermont.
Playing tonight?
Yeah, they're playing tonight on the Levitt stage, on the big stage.
I swear. Please come, 'cause it's only fair.
So that was just a little bit of Argonaut and Wasp there, but now we've got Ty all set. I'll split the difference here.
Sure. Do you want me to try to move over one?
As long as that doesn't cause any problems for your guitar, it might be just easier for us to make sure we hear each other. We both project pretty well, so I think we'll be fine.
As long as I can reach my mug, man. Yeah, you're good.
Might reach the mug, right?
Yeah.
So, Ty,
Yes.
thanks so much for coming on the show.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
The Groove Merchants.
Yes.
And you guys have been a band for a good long time now.
Yeah, almost too long.
No, certainly not.
Yeah,
No,
we're going on, it'll be 10 years in
I mean, that's
October.
admirable. Like that's inspiring for
Thank
people.
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun because I mean we started when we were all still in college,
Mhm.
and so the first 3 or 4 was a lot of like
Sure.
getting stuff together.
Yeah.
So now these last like 2 years, give or take, because obviously of COVID,
Right.
we've really kind of started to get together, like a tight, like full band sound, whether it's with organ or
Yep.
key,
Yep.
horns or backup singers or all of the above. But it's been fun. So that's been fun now as we get into the second decade of being a band is exploring that setup and that sound
Yep.
and like moving that forward.
Yeah. And this will be a funny story for you. You won't remember this, but it was probably 2015. I'm a person who goes to Musikfest solo. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not somebody who cares if I like it way better when I'm walking around with people.
Sometimes that's the way to do it is solo though.
But there's plenty of times that I'll just be like, well, I'm going down and no one else is going, but there's a band I want to see.
Right.
And I want to get, a gyro or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm walking around and you were walking around, which I'm going to assume is a mother or an aunt or somebody. and I just saw you and I had seen you perform a couple of times and I've loved your music since the time I first heard it. So I was like, I just walked up and I was just like, hey, you're in the Groove Merchants, right? And you're like, yeah. And I was like, I really like your sound and whatever. And you were just like, I could tell this person with you was like beaming with pride. And
I'm 1,000% positive it was my mother.
I'm sure it would be. Like, that's what I would assume.
We just went to the fest literally yesterday.
But
Shout out to mom.
So yeah, definitely, especially supportive moms. But like 7 years ago, I went up to you and just did that, and then now to see how far that's come since then.
Oh, thank you, man.
I mean, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's very appreciative.
Yeah. And now it's like you guys are now gigging. Well, not even gigging. Like you are a Philly band, right? You're based more down there now, right?
Yeah, we're trying to be.
Yeah, no, I just mean that's a big difference. Like,
yeah, because we're most of us live in Fishtown now, and so we're trying to kind of always expand more into the Philly area, and we have a few shows coming up down there.
Yep.
Towards the end of the year that are going to be fun, and we're still trying to work our way into some of those bigger rooms down there. But we always love coming back up for Musikfest. I'm from the Lehigh Valley. When we started playing out as a band, it was next door at the Fun House and
Right.
the Wooden Match where we're
literally next door.
Yeah.
There it is.
Where we're going to be tonight, at the Wooden Match and stuff. So, the Lehigh Valley is definitely in our roots as a band. So we always love, coming back up here whenever we can.
Yeah, for sure. And obviously Musikfest, but also other things.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are gigging at some of the local places that book, and always worth catching. You guys had that EP come out recently, and we were talking about Mike's one track where they recorded it live. You had a whole thing the way you recorded live.
Yeah, we did that during the pandemic. It was called Live from Morgan Creek. So
Morgan Creek,
our friends, shout out to Adam and Steph.
Yeah, right.
They own Morgan Creek Farms in Quakertown.
Yep.
And so they have a barn, and they put on a festival there every 4th of July called 4th on the Farm. We just played it this past year with a bunch of other really good bands. And it was during the pandemic when we, nobody was gigging, and we were like, what can we do here? How can we, use this time to still be productive? And they were gracious enough to let us come in and, use their barn to like film, kind of an all day live session. We played and recorded 4 tunes, and our good friend Mark Brown of Hambone Relay,
Excellent.
The Musikfest alums. He's out in LA now, but he played on the record and produced and mixed and mastered, and engineered the whole thing. Yeah, and we put that out in like September, I think, of 2020, and that really kind of helped us stay afloat, for lack of a better word. And people have been very gracious with that EP. We got a few tracks on WXPN in Philly,
nice.
And right up in Philly Weekly, and and the Key, and it was very cool, and it was kind of a good tether between like pre-pandemic and post-pandemic, and now we're starting to get ready to go, start writing again and get back into the studio. And
Well, I'll say this. That EP, and again, people aren't going to be shocked by this one. I do like either a live recording. It doesn't have to be in front of an audience. Rather than laying tracks, I like the more almost live-ish, not like the way that a band would just feed off of each other.
Yeah.
I think yields a sound I look for.
Yeah.
Other people like the fidelity of a produced, a piece, and
Yeah.
I like that too. But this kind of stuff, the Morgan Creek pieces, I'll throw that on all the time.
Thank you.
And the other thing I wanted to mention about that too is like that early sound you had was, your 4-piece and then horns.
Right.
And then at some point the horns kind of dropped out and it was replaced by a keyboard, like an organ.
Yeah.
And then there are times now, like with that EP, it's all of that. It's the horns and the organ with the 4-piece. And it's just, to me, is like, I don't see how anybody wouldn't love it. Like, honestly. And I'm saying that in such a way, it's like, even if you're like sitting here going, again, we talked about it before, I don't like that genre, I don't whatever. To me, it's like this stuff kind of like starts to supersede anybody's preconceived notions about that, and it's just great music. Like
it's a lot of noise. It's a lot of noise.
Well, it's not it's a lot of power is why I would say. It's because it's so well rehearsed and structured and tight and all that stuff. Yeah,
I'm glad somebody thinks it's rehearsed. Somebody thinks it's rehearsed. But yeah, man, thank you very much. We appreciate it. That's kind of another reason why we decided to do it, is because that was kind of what we saw as like this is the pinnacle of the sound that we've been kind of working towards for 10 years now. And we're playing tonight the Wooden Match, and we're playing tomorrow at Platz at 6:30. And tonight we'll just have the quartet. So we'll kick it old school. But tomorrow we'll have the full 9-piece band. So
and that's the other reason why I was going to say all that is because to let you promote tonight and tomorrow, especially tomorrow. And again, I'll be down there tonight too. But and the only reason why you're not on the list here is I was using the Musikfest app.
You're good.
No, all I mean is like
it
doesn't give me the non-Musikfest.
Dude, there's so many great bands. I mean, there's almost 500 bands.
Yeah, 427. That's what Patrick Rogan told me. Yeah,
427 bands over 10 days, all for free. And so nobody can see them all. So I think that's why it's it's really awesome that you guys are doing this to kind of help people figure out, like, especially people who've never gone to Musikfest before, because it's always getting more and more popular, especially now with like social media and stuff. And it's not just like old heads who are like, I'm gonna go to the polka tent and sit there all day. You know what I mean? Not that there's anything wrong with
it.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Shouts out to the polka tent.
Yes.
But it's cool that it also helps guide people who are maybe newer to Musikfest and the whole culture. And I think that's really great, because I think that's what will help add to its longevity, because you can only maintain the relationship with the OG Musikfest crowd for so long. They're used to like, I'm gonna go here and bond. It's always changing. You know what I mean? But I think music is always changing. And so I think it's ignorant for Musikfest to not change with it and still hold on to its roots, with still doing the polka tent stuff and everything, but then also, bringing in other bands, bringing in younger bands, figuring out other ways for people to know who to go see, not just through them, but through other podcasts. And so it's really cool. And so we're excited to have the full sound down there tomorrow and to play on that stage. I remember when they used to have a stage down there years ago. And it was always super fun. And so now when I saw they were going to bring it back this year, and then they asked us if we wanted to do it, I was like, hell yes.
Yeah. And somehow
it's going to be very fun.
The acoustics are amazing. You literally
I was down there.
You have no wall behind you, yet that sound comes this way.
Yeah, I was down there yesterday with my mom. Shouts out. And we have to go one day a year.
Yep.
We got to do it. But
I was with my mom on Wednesday. She's an 80-year-old woman, and she still wants to go to Musikfest every year.
Yeah. But we were down there yesterday, and it sounded very cool. And like you said, you would think, because they don't have the tent like they used to down there, and it's the open, air stage, it'd be with the acoustics would be weird, but it pushes it around, and they have all those buildings right there, like City Hall and stuff, so it can help kind of trap that sound in there. But it's very cool, and we're excited. We're excited to be doing it. This is, I think, our 7th Musikfest in a row.
Nice.
So it's very cool, and I'm, like you were mentioning, I'm excited to, this will be the first one that we've ever done with that full kind of 9-piece sound. That is what
and that's the stage for it. Like now that I think about it,
and that's why we have it. We kind of like, the thing I love about where we are as a band right now is that we have the capability to kind of do whatever the gig suits. So like tonight we're just taking the 4-piece. Sometimes we'll take a 5-piece and we'll add keys. Sometimes we'll have keys and one horn. Or like sometimes we'll have keys and no horns, but we'll have like a backup singer or whatever.
You had keys at Musikfest last year, and actually I have a video of it. This is just like you having fun with the crowd. Like it's like here, you can listen and then you can comment.
I don't know if I want to listen.
But I wanted people to know like a little bit more of the vibe of what in case they don't know.
Oh, yeah.
Here's what the Groove Merchants are about in between songs. That's just Luke jamming, right?
Luke Farrakhan on the guitar, shouts out. Well, you gotta do something.
So again, that's just fun. Like this is we keep using this phrase this year. Like, how are you not entertained?
It's strategic fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's always cool, and that's
And
why I'm excited for both of these sets, tonight and tomorrow, because they're at places where there's already kind of a built-in crowd, just via foot traffic and everything else.
Yep. So this is leading into a song. What song is that leading into?
That was the song called "You've Been Steppin',"
Mm-hmm.
which is like a funk tune we wrote. That was on our latest studio release, full-length studio release, which was called "The Throne." That came out in March of 2020. So kind of circling it all back to what we started talking about. That's kind of why we decided to do the live EP, because we released that studio album and then COVID happened, and so then it was like kind of like a gut punch of like, oh,
Absolutely,
we can't. We were so excited to get this record out, and then like nothing was happening. Right. We couldn't play gigs to promote it or whatever. And so we're like, but we really liked a lot of the songs on it, and so we were like, well, what can we do?
Yep.
And you kind of mentioned it already that our live energy is really kind of what helped us get started. And so we were like, well, let's put that down on wax. And so now we're kind of looking to kind of take both of those moving forward, and then in our next project, kind of record in a way that captures our live energy that will always be kind of like the crux of our vibe, but then also, like you were saying, kind of have the nice studio quality that's is nice for your ear holes.
Absolutely. Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's all very fun.
That's exactly right. So what time is it tomorrow? Just it'll come up. We'll be talking about it tomorrow for the timing and the place. But do you know?
Yeah, tomorrow we're at Platz at 6:30. Got it. So 6:30 to 8. Yeah, it's gonna be it'll be a fun one. It's supposed to be very nice out. So
yeah,
get your corn and come on down.
I've stopped talking about the weather because I don't need to. Like all the other days, it was like, is it gonna rain? Isn't it? So like I felt like let's talk about it because here's the latest.
I know. I mean, knock on wood, but.
And then, but
you couldn't have a nicer weekend.
No,
Musikfest.
No. You couldn't script this any better.
Yeah.
So it's like 81, low humidity, no chance of rain.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're welcome, Musikfest.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Total luck. So, what are you gonna play for us today?
I think I will.
First of all, thank you for hauling everything in here. It wasn't just an acoustic. I
luckily found a parking spot right outside, so it was very cool.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna play our song "Midnight Mountain Queen."
Love it.
It's I know you mentioned. You like it. We'll be playing it tonight and tomorrow, and it's on that live at Morgan Creek record.
Yeah. It's like if there was like a single off of that, it would be that one.
Most likely, yeah. We've gotten some XPN airplay from this song. It's a really fun tune. It's a tune we always enjoy playing, and now that we have the fuller band with the backup singers and everything, we can add some kind of other textures to it too. That's really fun. And because we're still kind of workshopping some other new tunes.
And it'll be neat to hear.
I think last time we
were a solo.
I think last time we were on, we played one of them, "Drown in Your Love."
Yes.
That's really cool. So I figured I'd play this, but
awesome.
I'll try and do something fun with it.
Why don't you play a little bit so I can make sure that the mic's picking things up? Yep.
I just put new strings on this.
Yeah.
guitar,
Do you want these to hear?
No, that's
okay. All right. Well, I'm going to get out of the shot. Ladies and gentlemen, Time Alone.
I never climbed the mountain. A ship ain't never set sail. To get to you, babe, I'm around these feet, walking all the way along the Appalachian Trail. we can't be. Watch that sunrise till we have no time. Sweetest thing I've ever seen. By midnight mountain going. You remember me? 2 hours felt like 1,000 years. I was making my way to you down Route 22, another time to fear. You and me, we can be watching the sunrise till the end of time. Sweetest thing I've ever seen. My midnight mountain queen. Delaware River couldn't keep me away from you. Let me make you mine forever, babe. And every word I'll say is you and me, babe. We can be watching that sunrise to the end of time. Sweetest thing I've ever seen, babe. Midnight mountain way. Not together, but I'm getting there. I'm in repair. Yeah. I'm not together, but I'm getting there. There's you and me, baby. You know we got me. Watching that sunrise to the end. You're the sweetest thing I've seen. My midnight mountain queen. That's the sweetest thing I've ever seen. My midnight mountain queen.
Outstanding.
Thank you.
Very cool as like a solo. Because like we were talking about before,
Yeah, I'm glad it sounded good because
Yeah.
I've never done it.
Really?
No.
Another world premiere.
Yeah, you heard it here first.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, this is great. Because even when we played Drown in Your Love, that was the first time that was getting played.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you guys always catch us when we
are
got exclusives.
breaking barriers.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Yeah, because what we were talking about before is like when you hear this, certainly tonight, but also tomorrow with the 9-piece, you will be bathed in sound. I mean, like, it's going to be an onslaught.
Yeah.
So this was like just this. Feel like you're either like in the coolest way possible, like in a New York subway, watching somebody who's like ridiculous musician going,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened in your life, dude, but you should have been way more. Anyway, that was kind of just what reminded me of. It was just like that awesome urban musician who's just cranking
Yeah.
the music.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, also being in this place. Is,
Yes.
Did you catch the ghost in the second light? Appreciated it.
Yes.
Did I?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There's been some funky stuff that's gone
Shouts
on here
out,
this
shouts
week.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone liked it. Someone was
Yeah.
saying very, very good there.
No, it's cool. I always I'm a big Alan Stone fan. I don't know
Mhm.
if you follow him, but he talks a lot about like his latest record is called Apart, and it's all songs he's done before, but they're all kind of like stripped down.
Mhm.
And he talks a lot about being able to musically take a song down and kind of strip it down to its bare.
Yep.
It's like component parts.
Yep.
And so just vocals and guitar, like
Mhm.
vocals and piano, or like whatever that entails. And so, because a lot of times that's how most of our songs start, is like through either me writing like that, or
Yep.
like Luke writing something, and then
Sure.
I'll write lyrics.
And then you're going back to the basics.
Yeah, and
with
so
it.
it's all it's all vocals and guitar usually to begin with,
Mhm.
and so it's always nice to bring a song back to those component parts,
Sure.
so to speak, because I think that's a lot of
Yeah.
magic lies in there. Because every time a song is performed a certain way, it's performed with a different energy,
Mhm.
with a different meaning behind it.
Yep.
And so I think when you see a song perform, like
Yep.
when we hear that song tonight, and especially tomorrow with the
Yeah.
full band, it's the words and the chords are going to be the same,
Mhm.
but there'll be a different meaning and a different energy
Oh,
behind
yeah,
it.
absolutely.
So, and I like doing that with tons of songs. I don't know if you caught the John Mayer cover I slipped in there for a little bit, but
I
was
did
just
not.
something
I'm going to have
fun
to
I
go
like
back
to
and
do.
listen to it. It's really fun. A little nugget in there. So Ramona and I were talking together, the managing director here at Godfrey Daniels, and we were hatching an idea, a plan, and I think you'll love it. So I don't think I'm going to be putting you on the spot, but we were thinking, have you guys play here some sort of either acoustic or broken down
Yeah.
versions of your songs.
Yeah.
And then the same night, play the exact same set in the Funhouse for real.
We played here once a few years ago.
Right.
And we did, I think it was in May. The only reason I remember is because I'm pretty sure it was Star Wars Day. It was May 4th, because there's pictures from it and I have a Star Wars t-shirt on. But we played here, but we didn't go next door. And we were all like, this is like cheating on your wife, man. What are you doing over here? But
well, this would be great. You could have
that would be
you
very
could have the side piece and the
Yeah.
wife in the same night.
Yeah. Like Gumad, and then you
Yeah,
go home.
There you go.
You go home for the rocola pie when you're done. But it was you don't watch The Sopranos?
No, that's why I'm laughing. Well, I also, my partner's an Italian woman, so these things come out of her
Hell
mouth
yeah.
all the time.
Oh, then
Yeah.
you could teach a doctoral course. But
No,
yeah,
she could.
that would be awesome.
Yeah.
we would love to do that, because it was when we played here that time. It was very fun, because that was the first time we'd ever kind of really done something like that. So
Mhm.
now hopefully we'll be better at it.
Right.
We're gonna do that, and if you come to both shows,
Mhm.
you'll see a
Yeah.
very different color palette.
Yeah. And I'm even thinking, like, this is now me. My brain went there as soon as we were chatting, but like I could see John Evan on a stand-up bass in here.
Well, I don't know if I go that far.
And, no, but that's what I mean. Is like that's what I'm picturing about this.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, you could really draw this
You
thing
have to
like
talk
way
to
out.
him about that.
Right. And you on an acoustic instead of electric and so on and
But, yeah.
whatever. But like it just could be really fun to
For sure,
kind of
man.
mess around with that.
It'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing I was
we'll get it together.
so the other thing I don't know if we captured it 100%, but I was really hoping for a stank-faced Friday on Friday.
You know
so
what?
I'm gonna get a screen grab of some of one of the moments and put it out there for you.
Yeah, there'll be plenty tonight.
Tonight
If you
for
come to
sure,
the
but I
match,
wanted
yeah.
one right here. In this
Oh,
space.
just maybe, yeah. Playing acoustic, it's a little hard. to
That's what I
make
mean. Is like,
stank
yeah,
face,
I
but-
wasn't sure we'd get it. We might have gotten it in there.
But there'll be some tonight. for
There's
sure.
definitely, there will always be stank
I'm
face.
glad somebody likes it.
Oh, listen, between you guys and Slingy D, like Slingshot Dakota,
Yeah.
it's like an onslaught of these moments of just you're so into the music that
Yeah, I saw them.
you can't control
I saw
it.
them yesterday. They were cool.
And
Actually, a good friend of mine got engaged at their show yesterday.
Oh, how cool.
Shouts out to Vicky. Congratulations.
Congrats. And
Yeah.
actually, you got married earlier this year, didn't you?
I got engaged.
Engaged, sorry.
Yes.
So same thing,
Yes,
engaged,
thank you.
bought a house.
We did just buy a house.
So
yes.
all that, like, what a great year for you.
Yeah, you guys, you did all your homework.
Let's just watch it. Like, the funny part about social media is like you just pick this stuff
Yeah,
up,
no, it's
and then you
crazy.
sound like a creeper when you bring it all up. I'm
No,
watching
thank you very much, man.
But
We
yeah,
appreciate
no,
it.
like, but there it is. But yeah, I'm getting married in January.
Excellent, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, man.
But thank you for playing, for being on the show.
Absolutely,
This was
we always
awesome.
love coming. Thank you for
Yeah,
having me,
yeah.
and for having us. And we'll see you hopefully tonight
Yep.
and tomorrow, and
Yeah.
then we have some
Yeah.
fun stuff coming up down the road.
Yeah, no, yeah. Anything else to promote for the fall or anything yet, or nothing finalized?
I mean, those of you who are, will be in the Philly area or want to make a drive, we're going to be at the Dawson Street Pub next Friday, the
Nice.
19th,
Mhm.
with our good friend Chris Burkholder, and then another band. And then we're October 28th. We're going to be at the Grape Room in Manayunk for
Nice. That's a cool one.
nice fun Halloween show.
Mhm. Yep.
So that'd be cool. And then we're going to make the official announcement on social media and stuff probably after Musikfest,
Mhm.
but another Next Favorite Band exclusive.
Nice.
We will be bringing back Turkey Jam this year.
Very cool.
The Thanksgiving Eve show at the Musikfest Cafe.
Yep.
Upstairs, us in Trouble City, and
Very
we're,
cool.
We're Trouble City All Stars, and we're still finalizing, some of the lineup and the details. But we're hoping to,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
to kind of turn it into an annual thing. Every Thanksgiving Eve, celebrate
yeah.
arts, and music, and
Yeah, because last year it was not
Bethlehem.
just music; it was stand-up comedy.
We
and
had
it
stand-up
was-
comedy, and we had some, resident artists, and so we're going to tweak it a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
it'll still have, most of those core components, and
Yep.
so that'll be Thanksgiving Eve again upstairs at the Musikfest Cafe.
Yep.
We'll probably make the official announcement after Musikfest
Mhm.
for when tickets will go on sale and
Yep.
stuff like that. But yeah,
that's great. I
gonna be
think
very
that's a great
fun.
idea. The only thing that holds me up right now is I have kids who are 19, 18, 17,
Yeah,
and 2 out of the 3, and next year all 3 in college.
yeah,
So Thanksgiving is like the first time we see them since
Yeah.
the
bring them.
well. That's true. I probably should. But like that's the thing is like we usually either get them Tuesday or Wednesday. So like the first time we're seeing them, and so to go out,
Oh yeah,
that's the only hiccup for me right
Yeah.
now. But it's a brief moment in time, and
You figure it
again that's the thing is maybe they're going to be like, I don't really want to hang out with you. I want to go to the Thanksgiving Eve
Yeah,
show
as
with,
they should.
with the group.
No, I'm just
merchants.
kidding.
No, listen, when I was coming home from college, that's what I'd be doing.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so thank
Yeah.
you again for all this.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
And happy festing. Good luck with the rest of it.
Yeah, we've got 3
thank
more
you to
days.
all of you, wonderful
Yeah,
people.
tonight, tomorrow, Sunday, all perfect weather.
Yeah, for sure,
Couldn't
man.
ask for anything more. And honestly, like the best lineups are still what's happening now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So like as great as the fest has been up until this point, it only gets better.
Yeah, for sure.
So cool. Well, I was just going to play a couple of the highlights from last night before we completely wrap. If you need to kind of like get your stuff
Sure.
kind of packed together.
Yeah,
The first
no
one I was
problem.
going to play was Low Down Brass Band. You said you caught them last night.
I called them. They were very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Alright.
kind of like a horn-driven New Orleans kind of thing going on. And Eric, come on up here. Let's bring you on for the. Let me pause this.
For the grand finale.
Yeah, grand finale. I'll have you listen to the music so you can comment since you weren't here last night. Here's the Low Down Brass Band. All right. Let me know what you think. Some people who listen to music will always know when I will like something because one of them said it always has happy horns.
Okay.
Like if there's ever like a massive horn section, they know Phil's gonna like it. Because there's like March 4th, Red Barat, Black Masala. Like there's all these bands that have like that really big brass section. Yeah, aren't they great? So anyway, that was Low Down Brass Band. And then the other one I wanted to bring in was Slingshot Dakota. Have I ever played them for you? No. Okay, so they're an awesome local band. And then this is what Slingshot Dakota or Slingy D is all about. Oh, I dig it already. Yeah, right. And that also, you got to watch the just the two of them. You get, again, bathed in sound. Must be something in Bethlehem, huh, Ty? Where you just get an onslaught of sound from our Bethlehem band.
Is it Animal playing drums?
Isn't that amazing? So that's Tom. He's like the greatest drummer in the history of the world. Because also he makes these faces, his hair wildly all over the place.
See, that's the essence of Musikfest right there.
That's exactly right. Look at his face. It's amazing. I mean, everybody should check out Slingshot.
Yeah, super fun.
And then, thank you so much for traveling down,
Of course.
up, over, whatever, from Charlotte.
Always
And,
worth it.
Tomorrow will be a bonkers day. We have more. Eric and I went to college together, and then we have more college buddies coming in tomorrow, and
Yep.
so it could be a great, messy day.
Reunion. It always is.
It is. It always is. But Musikfest is the place to do it. But as far as today is concerned, let's sign off.
All right, Phil, let's say goodbye to everybody.
Thank you to Godfrey Daniels, as always, for allowing us to set up shop here today. Shouts out to Godfrey Daniels and the Ghost, who enjoyed Ty's song today. Also, thank you to Mike Lorenz from the Witherbees, and thank you to Ty from the Groove Merchants. Also to both of them for not only joining us on a day that they're performing, which is already, an extra stressor they didn't have to say yes to, but also for performing. We always love when that happens, and can't wait to kind of go back and edit all those together so that I can put them out there for all of you to enjoy, in case you missed one here and there. But coming up, we have only one more day. We're actually not going to live stream on day 10. So tomorrow, day 9, will be our last day of the daily live stream. It's been so much fun to do all that, and hopefully you all enjoyed it as well. The rest of the lineup this evening will be tremendous. It will include Argonaut and Wasp. It will include the Witherbees. It will include the Groove Merchants, and then other fest magic in between. But hope you all can join us either tonight, tomorrow, or Sunday, and let's hit some Platzes.
It's all over now.